Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video I'm so sorry guys, I'm back with another video, and in today's video we're basically going to be answering 5 questions that I got in my DM. I wanted to do separate videos on these questions, but I figured I'll just put it all together and make it happen. And I also thought, since I've been gone for a while, it's not necessarily by choice. I've had so much going on: school registration at UNAM, assignments are already out, and then for those that follow me on my social media, guys, for those that follow me on social media, that wedding season has arrived and it's that time to travel in and out. And I must say, I'm so grateful to be back and forth and back home safely, because the roads have been claiming lives, and it's so sad, hey? But yeah, all we can do is literally pray, be obedient to God, and submit to his voice. And I don't know, I feel like God is teaching us something in this season, and we just need to we need to listen to what he's saying. Okay, so without wasting time, if you do like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment, don't forget to like, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. I mean, like, guys, we're approaching 7,000 subscribers. Guys, I think, is it too early to do road to 10k? Okay, let's not jinx it. Let's at least get 7k. T-gang, I trust you guys. Okay, so without wasting time, I'm going to try and be very authentic and be very honest and just be very open and transparent about on this way. So without wasting time, let's get right into it. Also, my makeup looks really cute today. I did this face beat in like 10 minutes because I was running late for something. Oh, the way Corona has just changed our lives, and now everything is virtual. Meetings virtual, lives virtual. Yeah. No, but we're grateful we're alive. So the first question is, how do you achieve your goals? Okay, so I like to do this. I like to journal a lot, so I also write down my goals, be it weekly, be it monthly, be it weekly, monthly, yearly. I write down my goals, right? And so I use my journal as a source of accountability. Like, I always go back and reflect and say, okay, did I manage to achieve this? Did I manage to do this? Did I manage to like that? Because I think goals is something that is very personal, and it's not really something I would share with people, unless maybe it's like me and a friend, we are trying to achieve the same goal, and so we keep each other accountable. And just last week I was watching Woven's latest video on friendship and setting goals, yearly goals and whatnot, and I think that for me was just, it was more, she said stuff that I already knew. It was just nice. It was a refresher, basically. Okay, so yeah, she spoke about yearly goals, weekly goals, and monthly goals, short-term goals, long-term goals, and yeah. So you guys can go watch her video if you haven't watched it. Okay, so you just also educate yourself. So to answer the question, how do you achieve your goals? I keep myself accountable. All right, so that's it. Keep yourself accountable. Be able to go back and say, did I do this? Did I achieve this? Did I buy this? Did I, even with like financial goals, sometimes I set goals like, okay, I want to save this amount this month. I need to be able to go back at the end of the month and say, okay, I have been able to achieve my financial goal in terms of saving, right? So yeah, that's basically how I do it. It's not that hard, but I think you want to take baby steps with yourself, especially if you're studying, especially when it comes to goal setting. First of all, draw up yourself a vision board. It doesn't have to, you can do it on Canva, you can do it on your laptop, on your phone. Just have a vision board. A vision board is basically just, how at school we have chalkboards, then you just like put out the different stuff you want to achieve, then you can segment them into like weekly, monthly, yearly, like that. You can have a yearly vision board, you can have a monthly vision board. I think weekly would be a lot of work, because then you have to make a new vision board every week. So yeah, that's to answer the first question. Second question is, how do you manage school, work, and business? And then another person also asked me, like, she's struggling a lot. This is her first year, and she's struggling like to balance social life, academics, and all that. And she just feels like it's a lot of pressure, and I understand, especially in the first year, because you know everything is new to you. You wanna keep up with everything, but you don't have to. You don't have to. I always tell myself, Tammy, starve your distractions, feed your focus. Feed your focus. Feed your focus by means of when I say starve your distractions, starve things that you can do later. Starve things like going out. Starve things like you know, just things that are not like a necessity. You get. I'm not saying don't go out. You are entitled to a social life. Me, more than anybody, is the ambassador of going out. Like every time I feel sad, I go out. Every time I treat myself to an outing every time. And unprovokedly, or what do you people say? Unprovoked. Yeah, like that. But yeah, so stop your distractions, feed your focus. If you feel like there's a lot of things distracting you, maybe a relationship that's not really working, maybe a friendship, cut ties, period. Okay, so and then you feed the focus, which is obviously passing the academic year, passing the semester, making sure you submit your assignments on time. I mean, there's no way you're going to grove like Saka Mamala, like you guys say it, whilst you have an assignment that is due and you haven't even started. Like, at least first do that. That's what I do. Like, you know, I stay alone. I don't stay with my parents. And like my siblings and I, we don't really have that accountability talk. So I had to teach myself to be accountable. I had to teach myself to take responsibility for my own life. And I think, like, I always tell myself, there's no way you can go and party or have fun when you have things pending, you know. Prioritize also, that's very important when it comes to varsity, because there's so many things. There's going to be Cassie Fest, there's going to be what and what and what, and your friends are gonna want to go and you're not gonna want to stay behind. But you have to prioritize. Like, I mean, if you have an exam, why are you going to party? Which is more important really, and which are you benefiting from? So set priorities and act accordingly. Okay, loud enough? Okay, the next question is, oh no, I didn't answer the question. So basically, how I manage with school, work, and business, my studies, I put my modules, some of my modules on distance, and that works for me. And then work, that's a story for another day, but I quit my job. This is actually the first time I'm saying it out like that. So I quit my job to focus on my business because I was earning more from my business. And with business, basically, you just choose which dates are more convenient for you, or you choose which weekends are convenient. Like, I mean, if I have a deadline on an assignment, I'm not going to take appointments. I need to finish that. And that's what I was talking about. Like, starve your distractions, feed your focus. And I mean, my business is not a distraction. It brings me chalete money. But, you know, school first. You want to just balance everything out. Okay? Or at least make sure that your assignment is done before you take an appointment. Yeah. And then, how do you stay in check mentally? Okay, so this is something I have not shared with anybody, but I've had mental struggles previously, like before, and I know how it feels. I know how it feels to be there, and it's such a dark and ugly place. Yo, Lord Jesus Christ, it's an ugly place to be in. And honestly, like, it's not even something I want to talk about. But how do you stay in check mentally? I think the first thing that works for me is really staying close to God, because what I noticed is the devil finds open doors. He finds those open doors. You know, this is how I like to put it. So you are a house. Picture yourself as a house. A house needs doors, it needs windows, it needs roofing, and yeah, windows, doors, roofing. Okay, Let's assume you have the doors, you have the windows, but you don't have a roof. When it rains, everything in the house is going to get ruined. So this is how I picture myself. I am the house and the roof is God. He covers me. Okay? So without God, everything inside me basically gets ruined. I don't know if that makes sense. But and then the doors and the windows, that might be like you now and then occasionally making time to pray, now and then making time to worship. But you need to be consistent. You want to be consistent because the devil, he's always roaming around the earth looking for loopholes, looking for open doors to, attack you. Sometimes it's not even that you're supposed to be in depression. You're just like, he sees an open door and he just gives you that because you are too weak. You are too weak to fight, the battle. So how do I stay in check mentally? I make sure that I stay close to God. I pray over my life. I pray over my mind. I ask God to renew my mind every time. And I pray not to get consumed in the things of the world, because I feel like that's where it all comes from. The things of the world. There's no peace in this world. You see this, you want it. You do this, you want it. You see. So it's very vital to just like stay in check. And I think also the other thing that works for me being a student and a young adult is just remembering like my mom's words. City life can be very consuming, right? So every time I go home and I come back, my mom always tells me, in English it means don't forget your house's poverty. Am I even translating it right? Not that we are poor, no, but she's saying basically, know the little that you have at your house and live within those means. Don't now try and live a life that's not yours, that you don't have, that you don't, those are the things that are causing us to feel pressured by society. Those are the things that are making us feel, depressed. And not to like overlook the whole depression thing. It's real. It's real. I've been there and I know how it feels, guys. But one thing I realized when I healed from my depression was that it was everything around me I was allowing to control my mental being. So when you are able to control your thoughts, when you are able to control what you think about, what you surround yourself around, what you read, what you listen to, you are at better chances of being in a better place mentally, if that makes sense. So yeah, be observant of your environment. Sometimes even the people around us, our friends, they cause us to feel not enough, especially if you're an overthinker. Like I'm an overthinker. Sometimes our friends make us feel like we're not enough, makes us feel like we're not doing enough. And not only friends, even romantic relationships can go to that an extent. And you want to be grounded in yourself. Find that contentment in your individuality. It is so important. Because when those people leave your life, when those people are no longer there, you're going to feel empty. You're going to feel like the world has ended, when in actual fact it hasn't. And I think the other thing that also keeps me in check is knowing how much God loves me. And just, I keep telling myself like his love is enough for me. His grace is sufficient for me. Over my life is enough. And I think that keeps me in check. Yeah. And I know it's very easy to like draw back in terms of there are just days where you wake up and you are back to square one. That's the thing about healing. Healing is so funny. Like one day you are okay, the next day you are back there. So yeah, develop I'd say a daily bread type of thing that you do that helps you keep yourself in check. What works for me might not necessarily work for you, but at the end of the day, that's how I do it. And yeah, I hope this will help somebody. The next question is, how do you deal with social media bullying? Guys, I don't deal with it. You don't have to deal with anybody's child's bad manners. Guys, I could never be a teacher. Like, I have I don't have patience for bad mannered, ill mannered kids. I don't. And like, my mom is a teacher by profession, eh? And I think she, in a way, she saw me as a teacher at some point, and I was just like, girl, could never be me. Like, I'm not that girl. I don't have patience for ill mannered kids. I love kids, but Junior, shake a girl. No, deal with your kids. But okay, that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about social media bullying. So, little story. When I was in primary school, right, there was this girl that used to bully me. Every time I would go to school, she would push me. Like, there was even a time I tore my tracksuit, guys. This is about to become a story time. And every time, like, she would come and she would steal my lunchbox out of my bag. You know, back then in primary school, we used to leave our bags in the lines. This girl will come and steal my lunchbox out of my bag, and then I'll find it like outside my bag, empty. The food is not there. And so I did experience bullying as a child, and I think it almost made me a very, like, I almost had a low self-esteem. In fact, not almost, I did struggle with low self-esteem at my early age, growing up. But I think as I was adulting, I was learning more about like confidence, learning how to be, you know, how to stand my ground, how to say no, how to fight back. Not like physical, I'm not that girl, but just like, no, don't do that, you know. Back then I'll just be quiet. So I think that experience taught me to speak up for myself and stand up for myself, because otherwise people are going to walk all over you. But when it comes to social media, I feel like those are just people that have issues and fights. They are fighting battles with themselves. Those are people that don't like you, and they don't like you for no reason. You haven't done anything to them. They just don't like you. And it's okay if my anointing aggravates your demons. It's okay. It's really okay. I don't deal with it. The question is, how do you deal with it? I don't deal with it. I'm choosing not to deal with it. And you also have a choice. You have a choice not to deal with anybody's bad business, honestly. That is why social media has introduced buttons like block, spam, report. I make use of those a lot. I block people, not because I'm a bad person. I'm just choosing my peace of mind. Like, there's no way I'm going to follow someone I don't like. There's no way I'm going. And then it's a thing of, you don't like me, but you are checking my stuff. Like, boo. Let's not do that this year, please. If you don't like me, unfollow me. Yeah. So don't deal with social media bullies. They are gonna be there. They are gonna come for you. But also, one thing I realized about bullies, people that bully others, is they're empty. They're empty, and they are looking to project their emptiness onto other people. So pray for them. Pray for them, because they are fighting silent battles also. And they want you to be in the place they are in, which is just not, doesn't make sense to me. Fifth question is, how do you balance relationship quality time and business? So for me, both me and my partner are business. We are entrepreneurs. He has his own thing going on, I have my own thing going on. And I think we were lucky enough to, like, we started from the very beginning together. I didn't have a business, he didn't have a business. And so we kind of did have enough time to spend time together, build our foundation, establish trust, and, you know, all that. So we just got to a point where we are like, okay, we'd still make time for each other, obviously. Now and then go on a small date, or I will go and run his errands with him, or he will come and run my errands with me. And in that, we are spending time together and just sitting down, talking. Other than that, really, it's a little much more busier now, since I have a business, he has a business, and our time schedules always clash. But you still need to make time. There's nothing like you are too busy for your partner. People that say such things, like, nah, my dear, it's not true. You can make time. So yeah, guys, those were my 5 questions, and I hope that I shared some insightful stuff. I hope that I remained authentic to you guys. I definitely do feel like I remained authentic to myself, and I shared my views on a lot of stuff. Please don't come for me in the comment section. That's not the purpose of this video. And I think ending of this video, I just want to say, considering that March was the month of women, I want to celebrate women, I want to encourage women, and I want to motivate women to, you know, keep pushing, keep cementing ourselves, keep doing the most, keep just doing us, because we're doing so well regardless of the hardships we endure. And genuinely, I celebrate every single woman out there doing their thing, and I'm truly inspired. And so yeah guys, this brings us to the end of this video. I feel like this was the most we've ever spoken, like, you know, like real talk. Let me know what videos you guys would like to see on my channel. And so with that said, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.